What's going on, my friends? Today we're taking a look at the Zhiyun Smooth 5S gimbal, and I will be reviewing it with my iPhone 13 Pro. If you don't have an iPhone 13 Pro, no worries at all. It works with just about any smartphone on the planet. Most smartphones have decent stabilization, no doubt, especially the new iPhones, but they're not as good, not even close actually, as having a quality gimbal. So a good gimbal will take that stabilization and even make it better. So if you really want that high level professional type video, you definitely want to get a gimbal. With that said, I'll be testing it out and showing you some real world examples, along with showing you the footage in the ZY app that comes with the gimbal for free. We'll also take a look at how to mount your smartphone and some of the features that I like about this gimbal. You guys ready to take a look at the Zhiyun Smooth 5S? Let's go! Alright, first let's take a look at the design. I absolutely love the black and white combo here. It's got a real professional look to it. All three motors on top can be locked for transport purposes. You don't want this thing flopping around as you're transporting it. So as you can see, I'm moving it, but nothing is actually moving. All three motors are in locked position. I'll show you how to unlock those when we go through the mounting process. We have the scroll wheel on one side of the gimbal. This is a huge scroll wheel, and it's not cheap by any means. It actually feels really good, smooth. Almost feels like there's a bearing in there that's making it rotate really easily. Now moving over to the front panel. What I love about this front panel is everything is accessible with just a thumb. So you have that trigger icon on the bottom left, so you can move your smartphone up, down, left, right, any direction you want. On top of that trigger, you have the menu button, so you can cycle through the menu options. On the bottom right corner of the display is the red slash button. That is the record shutter button that allows you to start recording at a press of the button. Above the record button is the mode button, which allows you to cycle through the 5 modes that are included. One of the coolest parts about the front of this display is the top right corner. You have a bulb button. If you hold that bulb button down for 3 seconds, that's turning on the fill lights. And the wheel around that bulb allows you to dim or brighten the lights as needed. And they can get crazy bright. They can get even brighter if you get the combo pack. So the combo pack includes the magnetic light on the top, and you can also buy an additional one to put on the bottom here. And I think that lux brightness gets upwards of 2000 lux, which is insanely bright for these tiny little lights. So it can really help you out in low light situations. On the other side of the gimbal, we have a 1/4-inch screw, so you can attach accessories like external microphones, things of that nature. You have the power button to turn on or off the gimbal. And below the power button is a function button. On the very bottom of the gimbal, we have a 1/4-inch screw, so you can include the included tripod. There is also a USB-C charge port for your phone on the top access point, so you can charge your phone while you're recording footage. That is really cool. With the combo pack, you get this great carrying case, which is really nice. Stores the Zhiyun Smooth 5S securely, so you don't have to worry about any damage to your gimbal. Like I mentioned earlier, you also get an additional magnetic light, which goes on the top or bottom of your cell phone, which gives you additional brightness. You also get 4 diffuser colors, which you can attach to the magnetic light, and they just go on the front just like that. Also comes with a little wrist lanyard, which goes into the back little lanyard connector right there. So if you're one of those people that likes to have that little wrist secured, so you make sure in case you drop the gimbal, well, that's gonna save you. The Zhiyun Smooth 5S does not feel cheap by any means. It actually feels professional, well built. It's got some heft to it. Now, I think part of that heft is the huge internal battery that's in the shaft of the gimbal right here. This battery lasts 24 hours and it has a full charge in just 2 hours. All right, let's take a look at how to mount and balance your phone onto the Zhiyun Smooth 5S. First thing you want to do is actually hit that unlock button on the back of your gimbal. Make sure this is all rotating. Make sure all 3 motors are moving, nothing's locked up, so you don't want to ruin any of the motors inside. Second step, you want to take this long arm that's attached to the second access point and the third access point and push to make sure that it comes out of a little plastic lock mechanism right in here. So just make sure that that's swiveling properly. And on the third access point, just twist until it starts to rotate, and it'll come off a similar little plastic locking mechanism right there. So what you want to have now is the display and the second access point facing you, along with the phone clamp where it says Zhiyun inside. You want to make that readable to you. Now when you have all three of these things facing you, take your smartphone, place it in the clamp, and make sure that the lips of the phone clamp are on the outside of the phone. You don't want that falling out at all. So you're gonna notice that it's not level by any stretch of the imagination here. So there is a wheel attached right in front of this arm. Loosen that wheel, and what you wanna do is you wanna move this arm back and forth until it is relatively level and it can stay in this position. Once that is the case, tighten that wheel back up. You don't necessarily have to worry too much about this access point on the top here. So what you want to do at this point, just hold down your power button for 3 seconds, and now the gimbal just calibrated itself and now it's in a level mode and you are good to go. All right, let's go take this party outside and go have some fun. So we're gonna take a look at the iPhone 13 Pro stabilization versus the iPhone 13 Pro stabilization with the Zhiyun Smooth 5S and see how big of a difference it really does make. If you're someone that likes to vlog, all you need to do is hit that trigger button 3 times and the gimbal will turn around and you will now have the rear facing camera on almost every single smartphone on the planet. The rear camera is the better camera, so this actually comes in really handy. On top of that, you have this built-in fill light, which is great for all you vloggers. It gets very dim, very bright, excellent for vlogging. If you're looking at getting a gimbal for your smartphone, this is one of the best out there, specifically if you are a vlogger. There's a lot going on that really set this up to be one of the best on the market. It looks great, it feels well built, it's got a built-in fill light, the motors are some of the strongest out there, everything is within a thumb's reach, it comes with the included ZY Cami app. There's a lot going for this, but with that said, it's not perfect. I do have 2 small gripes. Number 1, I wish it had a built-in extension rod so you can get a little bit more creative with your high and low shots. Now, the DJI Osmo Mobile 6 has that. I absolutely love that feature. I think every gimbal should start coming out with that feature. Gripe number 2 is that tiny little display on top which shows you which mode you are operating in. I can barely see that, so they definitely need to make that a little bit bigger, and it's really difficult to see when the sun is shining on it. Almost impossible actually, so that front display needs to be a little larger for sure. That's gonna wrap up our review of the Zhiyun Smooth 5S. Other than that, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and like the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.